Hey everyone, welcome to a new video. Today's video is going to be a little bit different, and it's going to be a motivator for anybody out there who's thinking about quitting because they're not getting any sales. My message is going to be, don't give up, but more importantly, I'm going to give some tips on reasons why you might not be getting sales. And I want you guys to think on a more simple level, right? A lot of times we complicate the process. We make things very, very complicated. We take a look at statistics, analytics, and sometimes we get some brain fog. We're just not sure what to do. And I always say, revert to this video, or I'm going to always say, revert to this video if you're just not sure what to do. This video is going to be the guide for that. If you're not getting sales, this is exactly what you should do, all right, on Redbubble. So let's go ahead and continue. I got a comment of somebody who I guess they were saying it as a joke. But the reason why I took it seriously is because when people say things as jokes, there's some sort of underlining truth to it, or underlining, truth that they must have believed at least. So there was a comment posted yesterday on a video that I showed people how to get sales every day on Redbubble, and the individual with the name of Slowpoke King wrote, "Still trying, still not getting any. I must suck. Ha ha ha." And of course, on the outside, this may seem like a joke and things like that, but as somebody who's been unsuccessful and has crossed over to the other side of achieving kind of what I wanted to achieve, I could see that this is not a joke. This is one of those jokes that is underlying with truth in it. And I wrote a comment back. Now, it might be a little bit long, but I'm going to read it to you guys. And this is why it kind of matters. So I'll read it to you guys. And I said, because you're not getting sales, it doesn't mean you suck. You don't suck. Don't downgrade yourself because you're not getting a sale. You're just not getting sales. That could be happening for a few different reasons. But you have to realize that you have not developed the skill set that gets you sales. My first few designs didn't sell. So what? That doesn't mean I'm terrible. It just means that I haven't developed enough to where someone looks at my work and is willing to pay for it or buy it. Pick yourself up and work through these hard times so that you never experience them again. If you don't face this time in your life head on, you will never. And I kind of continued the message by some motivational words that is cut off in the comments, but really, what we really need to talk about is how to improve the chance of getting sales and why you're not getting sales specifically. Because if we can diagnose the problem, if we can figure out why you're not getting sales, then we can turn that around and actually fix those problems and get sales. Now, in reference to the comment, something I want to say, guys, is just because you're not doing well right now doesn't mean you're a bad person or you're a weak person or you're a dumb person or you suck. Once you make income, doesn't mean you're a better person either. There are a lot of bad people who make a lot of money. It doesn't really mean anything. All it means is that your work has developed enough to where, like I said, somebody is willing to pay for it. That's all it means. That doesn't make you a better or worse person. And something that I find is that for us as business people, our self-esteem is linked to our performance. And this is something we have to stop. And honestly, I'm a victim of this too, guys. When business is doing well, I feel good about myself. When business is doing bad, I feel bad about myself. But that's nature's way of saying, hey, don't be depressed. Go out there and succeed. Go out there and work harder. Go out there and do what you got to do to live a better life. That's literally survival instinct kicking in, right? I'm sure back then in the time of the hunter-gatherers, right, when the guy couldn't hunt the woolly mammoth and he got depressed and embarrassed in front of his friends, that feeling existed so that he doesn't, starve to death, so he can go out and hunt something else. So, that's kind of my way of thinking. So, don't attach a permanent, I guess you could say, maybe the word is adjective or whatever the word is. Don't attach something permanent, like an identity, like you suck or you're terrible or whatever, to yourself just because you're not making money. Making money is a skill that you develop, especially on Redbubble. When you're creating designs, it's a skill. You just have to figure out the tagging and things like that, and the designs, etc. So, guys, let's pick ourselves up. Let's not be depressed about this. If you're not making sales, there are reasons why. We have to understand that. And I remember when I first started in business, A few months after I started, I still wasn't succeeding. And I told myself, I'm doing everything, but I'm not succeeding. This must be not working, or it must be a scam, or it must be fake, or whatever the case may be. But guess what? I didn't try everything. I thought I tried everything, but I didn't. Because later down the road, I kept trying and trying and trying, and eventually I succeeded. Because if you tried everything, you would have succeeded, right? So let's go ahead and move on now to the actual bulk of the video, the content, the juice, the steak of the video, and let's talk about how to diagnose and the no sales problem. So first thing is you might be getting sales. They aren't many, but you're exaggerating saying you aren't getting sales. So if that's the case, then to you guys, I'm not really sure what to say. This video could help you out also, but let's be a little more specific from now on, because I know there are people who do this, where I'll be like, hey, how many sales did you get? And they'll say, I'm not getting any sales. So I say, so 0? You haven't had a single sale yet? They say, no, well, I had a sale or two. Because honestly, guys, the difference is a huge difference. Because if you know that you can get just one sale, that's all the information you need. That's all the validation you need to go out there and do it 1,000 more times, 10,000 more times, 100,000 more times to go make that money. All right? So now let's talk about the actual potential reasons and how to handle them. And by the way, sorry for the spelling. You guys know I'm not a spelling genius here, and I'm not even good at spelling, and I don't plan to be, and I'm not even going to fix that. Honestly, it's going to be what it is. So let's go ahead and continue. All right? The reasons, okay? One of the reasons might be very, very simple. You're in niches that just have too much competition. I used this example yesterday, I think, with the rose, okay? If I have a picture of a rose and I'm trying to compete for the keyword, let's say, red, think of how many other words in the targeting, okay, in the keyword tags have added the keyword red. How many? Do you think 100,000, 200,000, 400,000? Well, it's going to be a very large number. Essentially, I'm a needle in a haystack, or maybe even 100 haystacks. Nobody's going to find me. That's really the way you have to think about it. It's almost like, the best way I can explain this, guys, is imagine you have 100,000 water bottles, and only one of those water bottles out of the 100,000 or 300,000 water bottles, all those water bottles have white caps except for one of them. One of them has a silver cap, okay? Do you know how hard it is to find that silver capped water bottle out of 300,000? You're not going to be intentionally looking. You can't. You're going to give up. You're not going to find it. And this is what customers are dealing with. When you want them to see your design, a lot of people are just competing in niches that are just way too packed, and they're not being seen. And so too much competition could be a reason why you're not making any sales, okay? When I say niches, guys, or a niche, I'm really referring to keywords, okay? Because each keyword is its own niche entirely, and that's my personal belief. You can refute that, you can say what you want, but at the end of the day, there are different results that come up for different keywords. And in a way, those keywords are their own ecosystem. And that's what I call a niche. And those keywords we're using, these are the keywords we're putting in our tags to rank. To not even to rank, but just to tell Redbubble, hey, this is what our design is about. So that when a consumer searches for a specific design, they're essentially going to find it within Redbubble. Okay? Let's go ahead and continue. Your designs aren't that attractive or decently attractive. Now, here's the thing, guys. I've said this before in other videos. I'm going to say this again. You don't have to have professional designs like the one you're seeing on the screen. You don't. Okay? To make money, you don't. All right? But here's the thing. You have to realize that your design has to be decently attractive, meaning average or above average to get a sale. Okay? It can't be below average. Nobody wants to pay for something that's unattractive. And so maybe the realism plays in here. Maybe your designs are just simply not attractive. And honestly, even though beauty is subjective, there are parts to this aspect that are completely objective. Anybody can look at your design and say that's either good or bad, right? From a sales perspective, like if somebody's really willing to pay for it. And like I said, as long as it looks decent, you're going to make money. But the problem here is that there are ways to make things look decent. Like maybe the art is just not placed right on the product. Maybe it's pixelated. There's a lot of easy things that you could fix. But remember, the golden rule to the kind of the designs is that it has to be decent. It has to be on at least average level. I say this all the time, guys. I'm not an artist. I'm not good at drawing or art or coloring or any of that kind of stuff. I'm not an artist at all, but I jump into Redbubble because I know I can make money, and I keep my designs very basic, very, very basic, and they're average, and they get the job done. Okay, so remember, they just can't be bad. They could be decent, but they just can't be bad. I heard a quote one time about the Buddhists, and I'll give you an example here. I'll say what the quote is. One of my mentors, he said, "Listen, you could be a nudist, right? You could be a Buddhist, but you can't be a nudist Buddhist," which is basically saying, you could be a Buddhist, and that's rare. You could be a nudist, and that's rare, but you can't be both because that's just too rare. That's just too odd. Okay. My point here, guys, is that you can't be the odd man out. You can't be the too odd, the too unattractive. It just doesn't work out. Nobody wants to buy a white elephant, all right? Nobody wants to buy the thing that just doesn't look good. Now, you might be one of those very rare cases, that 0.00001%, where you fit into that Off-White, that Gucci, that Prada, that Louis, where people just look at it and say, even though it's unattractive, they say, wow, I'm buying this. Like, I don't know why, me personally, have you guys seen those Balenciaga sneakers? I just think they look terrible, but people buy them. And they buy them for like $5,000, I think. They're expensive. But my point here is that we're probably not part of that entity, that group, right? That 0.0001% of successful people. We're probably not. So what we need to do is we need to play to our strengths. And if design is something that you're just not good at, you're going to have to search some courses. You're going to have to get better. You're going to have to hone in on that craft. And that takes time. And that's something that I had to work on. And I got it, I worked on it and I got it done. And now I can look at certain designs and I can know if they're going to sell before they sell. Just off the design, not off the tags or anything like that. So remember the golden rule. They have to be average or above average. They can't be lower than average, all right, for the designs, okay? Let's go ahead and talk about lack of traffic. Lack of traffic could be one of, if not the biggest reason that you're not getting sales, okay? It doesn't matter how beautiful your design is. It doesn't matter how many works of art you're doing. If nobody's visiting your work, if you're not getting traffic, you're not going to get a single sale. It doesn't matter, right? So there are reasons why there's a lack of traffic. Number one, it could be too competitive a niche. We've said this already, but let's be realistic here. Let's say you have 450,000 designs, okay? But every single design is buried past page 10, 20, 30, right? For all different kinds of niches. Nobody's ever going to see your content. It's going to be very, very rare when somebody sees your content. Even if it's the most beautiful art in the world, nobody's going to see your content. And if you don't have a strategy for Google tagging as well, still, nobody's going to see your content. So remember, when you're posting something on Redbubble, you're really giving yourself a shot twice to succeed. You're giving yourself two chances to make money, whether it be through Redbubble or through Google, okay? Now, some people will optimize strictly for Redbubble. They won't really pay attention to Google. Some people will go strictly for Google. I've seen people do that as well. Some people will go for both. I personally try for both. Obviously, do I succeed at 100%? No. Nobody succeeds 100%, but, I give it my shot. Now, with that being said, you got to optimize for something, right? And when I say optimize, we're talking about SEO optimization, search engine optimization. Redbubble's a search engine. Google's a search engine. You want to figure out what you're going to optimize for so you can get some decent traffic, at least in one area, okay? If you're going into niches that are just strictly too competitive, it doesn't matter how beautiful or how attractive your designs are or how many designs you have, you're just not going to be seen. And if you're not seen, you're not getting traffic. If you're not getting traffic, you're not making money, period, okay? The next reason, maybe the niche are less competitive. So it's the opposite issue. When a niche is so under-competitive, right, so low competition, even if you rank first on that niche, it's still going to be hard to get a sale because the search volume is so low. I'll give you an example. Let's say you created a t-shirt about a pumpkin, okay? And let's just say, for example, pumpkins get 10 searches a month. Well, those 10 searches are great, but if you're not picked at least every time from those 10 searches to get to be purchased, you're not going to make any money. This is another example of that, right? So you want to go into a niche that has that middle ground. And I made a video on this yesterday, and I used Fenrir the Wolf as an example. If you go on Redbubble, at least yesterday's time, if you search Fenrir, it was less than 2,500 designs. I think it was like 2,470, I think, or 73, and it gets search volume. So that's an area, that's an aspect where you can make money right here, right now. Now, I don't know what it is this morning. Maybe some people saw the video last night. I think like 500 people saw the video last night. Maybe they created like 60 designs each. You never know. And now that niche might be flooded now. So just a quick FYI, guys, here is that you got to find the middle ground. And like I said, I showed how to do that yesterday. So if you're interested, go to the videos, find today's video, and then go back and watch yesterday. You know, I'll just leave it in the link down in the description. We don't even need to complicate things. The video to yesterday's video will be labeled yesterday's video. The link will be down in the description. And speaking of the links in the description, I'll also leave the tagging course, guys. The SEO, Redbubble, Google tagging course. If you have trouble with tagging, if you have trouble with titling your products, you're not sure what words to use, you're not sure what strategies to use for your keywords, that's what the course is on. I'll leave that link in the description box as well. You guys have probably heard me talk about this before, but it's cheaper price because of the early adopters, etc. And we're constantly updating the course. Yesterday we added 5 new lessons to the course, and like I said, if tagging is a problem for you and you feel like you want to get better at tagging and achieve more success with Redbubble and you need a guide through that, then go ahead and check out the course, okay? But like I said, it's only for people who think that, you know, they need help in that area, okay? Now let's go ahead and continue. Like I said, the niche is less competitive, and nobody's searching for them. You could, like I said, be searching, be ranking high, maybe even on page 1 for all your designs, but the niches, nobody's searching for them. So, like I said, you got to have that middle ground, okay? The next thing, maybe you haven't deployed enough designs to get a conversion. I've seen this before. I've seen people say, hey, man, I've created 5 designs, but I haven't got a single sale. And sometimes I scratch my head and I say, well, what do you expect? You've created 5 designs. You know, I mean, nobody here should be complaining about lack of sales if they haven't done over 300 designs yet. 300 designs is the number. At the end of the day, guys, effort is going to play the biggest role here. Effort is going to make the biggest, it's going to change the future, the fabric of your future, literally. And honestly, I could say that with everything I've done in my life. The effort that I put in has essentially translated to the most success. The less success I received was because the less effort I put in. That's with every aspect, whether it be schooling, whether it be business success, etc. Okay? So, literally, you could be the person, maybe you just haven't created enough designs yet. That's literally what it could be, you know? So go out there and create more designs. Remember that every time you create a design, you're increasing your probability to get a sale. It might be very, very slight, but so what? It's something. And that's really what Redbubble is about, is if you look at the numbers, unfortunately, it's not an artistic platform. And I've said this before, but I'll say it again. It's not an artistic platform. Regardless of what it's been advertised to be and what it looks like it is, it's not. It's a business platform. You go on there to make money. You don't go on there to be an artist. If you want to be an artist, then maybe you should take one piece of art and sell it in a gallery or something for hundreds of thousands. But Redbubble, that's not the case. Redbubble is for everyday consumers that works off of scale and size and large amount of product. I mean, they make over $550 million a year. Most of their products that they're selling is stickers, which cost pennies. So my point here is that you need to create a lot of designs to be as successful as possible. And really, I don't think anybody could argue with this idea. The more designs you have, the more money you make. Of course, you can create a design that gets all this traffic and make a ton of money and do all this, and that's fine. That's fine and dandy. But let's be honest. You know, would you rather have 5,000 designs or 50? Would you rather have 100 designs or 1,000? I mean, it's really irrefutable. You can't really argue it. Now, with that being said, guys, that's the end of the video. Like I said, I'll leave a link to the video in the description box down below of yesterday's video for those who want to learn how to find that middle ground, to find the good, I guess you could say, niches where they're getting enough traffic and they could be seen and they're not too competitive, all right? I'll shoot that link in the description along with the course, all right? I'll talk to you guys later. Thank you guys for watching, and hopefully this video, guys, helped you out. Peace out, bye.